prix prestigieux, on retrouve 6 journalistes et écrivains. François Carmenet, Virginie Bloch-Lenné, Ariane Bois, Tiffany Gassouk, Eric Nuhoff et Colombe Schneck. Et c'est cette dernière qui va m'accompagner maintenant sur scène afin de présenter le lauréat de cette année, mesdames et messieurs, Colombe Schneck.
Merci, bonsoir à tous. Avant de lire cette magistrale biographie de Robert Redford, que nous célébrons ce soir par le prix Barrière du roman américain du Festival de Deauville, j'ai revu, comme sûrement certains ici, nos plus belles années de Sidney Pollack en pleurant. J'avais oublié combien de fêlures Hubble Garner, le personnage joué par Robert Redford, cachait derrière son apparence de beau, blond, sportif, sa facilité, l'aisance n'était qu'un maquillage. En lisant la biographie de Robert Redford, j'ai eu d'abord l'impression qu'elle était aussi celle du personnage, joué par lui, Hubble Garner, mais un Hubble Garner qui aurait grandi, trouvé sa place, cassé des murs, serait allé jusqu'au bout de son destin. Son auteur, Michael Feeney Callan, décrit combien pour Robert Redford le chemin a été difficile, hasardeux. Redford est un artiste qui est passé par les Beaux-Arts de Paris, qui a dormi dans les rues de Rome en se nourrissant de fromage. Il ne se destinait pas à être acteur, mais peintre. Ce livre est bien sûr une enquête sur une vie, comment on devient un grand acteur, comment on dure des décennies à Hollywood, mais il me semble qu'il est davantage que cela. Il s'agit aussi de l'histoire d'une amitié entre deux hommes, deux artistes qui se parlent à cœur ouvert. L'un, Robert, raconte ses bons et mauvais rôles, ses erreurs, ses rêves, ses échecs, lui a fait lire ses journaux intimes, et à l'autre, Michael, qui est un écrivain, poète, nouvelliste et peintre irlandais. J'ai appris aujourd'hui qu'il avait séduit sa femme, il avait 18 ans, elle en avait 16, en lui récitant de la poésie irlandaise, et c'est aussi comme ça qu'il a séduit Robert Redford, en récitant par cœur de la poésie. Donc deux artistes, l'un parle avec sincérité, l'autre écoute avec sincérité, et voilà une biographie qui reçoit ce prix aujourd'hui en France, 10 ans après sa sortie aux États-Unis. Les éditions Trace ont eu la très bonne idée de le faire traduire par Muriel Levet et de le publier. On donne du jury François Armanet, Virginie Bloch-Lenné, Ariane Bois, Tiffany Gassouk, Béatrice Nakache et Eric Nuhoff. Je suis très heureuse de décerner ce prix à Michael Feeney Callan, ce prix LUCIEN-BARRIÈRE du roman américain du Festival de Deauville.
Merci Colombe. Veuillez accueillir Michael Feeney Callan. Welcome, Michael.
Now, my wonderful makeup lady from Chanel this evening said, being Irish, I should start with some note of levity. And I could think of nothing other to say than, you esteemed people have no idea who I am. and neither do I, so that makes two of us. So, my job in working with Robert Redford, my privilege, was an extraordinary thing. And it's a great joy to be here. It's an inexpressible honor to be here tonight. Robert Redford and I started working together when we met first in 1995. It was an enormous challenge for him because he's essentially, if none of you have encountered him or know him, a very private man, a shy man, a man who doesn't like talking about himself. In fact, he's spent his whole life avoiding public disclosure. But we had our meetings in New York and we overcame his hesitation and we found a common ground. And the common ground was storytelling. He loved telling stories and so did I, and that started us off. Redford's artistic journey, like my own, started in France. For me, I discovered great literature in my teens with the unbeatable Jules Verne's adventures, and then later Honoré de Balzac. For Redford, who wanted to be a painter as a young man, he started at the Beaux-Arts in Paris in 1957. And as we know, the painting didn't really work out for him, but the movie making worked out. The jump from reading Balzac to writing Redford was a relatively easy one. I discovered quickly that Balzac and Redford had a lot in common. In the human comedy novels, Balzac set out to encompass all of life, explanations and understandings of the way human beings are in all of life. And Redford is like Walt Whitman. He set out to essay all of American experience. And that's the kind of thing his oeuvre is that. On screen, he's portrayed a frontiersman, a politician, a sportsman, a businessman, a journalist, a lover, a dreamer, and a lost soul. His work really truly reflects universality. But at its heart, there's one small acorn, his singular vision for what the best of human beings can be. He's a sharp observer when you're hanging around with him. You see it all the time with him. He observes that the world is a fragile and imperfect place, but he also sees how there is promise and potential for the beauty and greatness in every day. And that sounds like the typical hyperbole one would see in journalism, but to be with Redford is extraordinary, to watch him see an injured kid or a sad dog, and to see him give affection and empathy. He really is a sharp observer. I urge everyone from my long journey with him and my friendship with him to watch his movies again, because every one of them in these weird, dark days of the 21st century, every one of them has some element of optimism in the subtext. Every single one of Redford's movies has hope in its heart. That is the Robert Redford story. His life story is a story of a guy with not many advantages who through perseverance and hope achieves something. It's a story I set out to convey in my book. I'm accepting this award tonight with gratitude and I hope humility. It's me who's accepting it, but the reality is this award is a recognition of a great collaboration. Firstly, and obviously most importantly, I want to thank my friend Bob Redford for his love, his trust and friendship. I want to thank especially my visionary publishers, Florence Franck and Jean-Philippe Lafont of Edition-La-Trace. I'm more than indebted to them for their belief and vision and support of this book. Thank you, dear Florence and Jean-Philippe. None of this would be possible without you. It is thanks to your vision that this biography was updated and finally released in France and in all Francophone countries in May, just gone, 10 years after the original publication in the States. Also, I must thank my friend and great talented composer and producer and graphic artist Valentin Lafont, who designed this book. Thanks, Val. I want to thank the management and the jury of the festival, the Public System Cinema, and Beatrice Nakash, manager of the LUCIEN-BARRIÈRE Literary Awards, and all the jury members for their kindness, and of course, Philippe Augier, the bear, and Beatrice, his wife, and his team, and all those who coordinated this. Special thanks to Sophie Bastille for coordinating everything so gracefully. No writer should overlook the discernment and support of his readers, so I have to say I'm truly grateful for all the readers who've enjoyed this book and written from all over the world, really, to me about it. I'm very grateful. Finally, I want to express my deepest thanks to my family. I owe so much to my parents. It always begins at the root. Margaret and Michael, my sister Jeanette, brother Jim, brothers Jim and Ron and Eamon. I wouldn't have written this book without the love and guidance of my children. My daughter, Paris Donatella Callan, is the greatest editor and savviest writer and word traveller I know. My son Corey, philosopher and cineast, advises everything I do. But most of all, I want to thank the keeper of the flame, the love of my life, whose gift as producer, cuisine master and confidant, Robert Redford, fell in love with and adores. And of course I adore. My partner and muse is up there, Robert Callan. This is for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Michael, would you please come center stage? Colombe. C'est bon. Et encore le trophée est créé par l'artiste Dominique Carl Lagasse. This award, like all of our awards we do during the festival, has been designed by a local artist, Carl Lagasse. Michael, thank you so much. Colombe, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Bonne soirée à vous deux. Ah non, pardon. Merci beaucoup. Bonne soirée. Et maintenant, c'est le moment de découvrir notre